I remember logging onto YouTube to watch a brand new YouTube video from my favorite YouTube channel at the time, Good Mythical Morning. Now, for some reason, the particular video uploaded that day has stuck with me for the last few years. In this video, they discussed a brand new invention, just a few years old, that was going to innovate our daily lives and change the way we do transactions. Cryptocurrencies. They described cryptocurrency as a sort of independent currency, a sort of decentralized monetary system. Overall, they discussed just how cryptocurrency will truly democratize our economy. So today, we will discuss the history and mechanics of cryptocurrencies. Then we will go on to discuss the purposes and uses for cryptocurrencies. And last, we will talk about how cryptocurrency has already begun to, and will continue to, affect our real-world economies. According to a December 7th, 2017 Forbes article, the very first attempt at any cryptocurrency was called B-Money, created by DAIWAI, D-A-I-W-A-I. Now, you might be wondering to yourself right now, if this is supposedly such an innovative invention, and this was the first version of it, how come I've never heard of it then? Well, notice I said attempt at a cryptocurrency. See, nobody really caught on to B-Money, and since it never got to the mainstream media, and nobody was using it or accepting it for transactions, it failed as a currency. However, it's still an important currency because it paved the path for so many cryptocurrencies to come in the future. One such cryptocurrency, the very first successfully established cryptocurrency, and the most popular and well-known one today, is called Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin was created by, well, that's the complicated part. You see, according to a CNBC article, Bitcoin just sort of appeared one day. No build-up, no advertisement for it, nothing. It just showed up on the internet and people started using it. However, last year, somebody did come out and say that the creator of Bitcoin was a person named Satoshi Nakamoto. The problem with this, however, is that there's no one or thing that identifies by that name. So that's left us to theorize and sort of guess who the creator of Bitcoin is. The most popular theory out there is that it was a group. The Bitcoin was created by a group of very experienced programmers that came together to make it all possible. Now, while there are other cryptocurrencies out there, such as Feathercoin, Bitcoin is the most popular, the most widely used, and the one that is most likely to be copied into the future for other cryptocurrencies. So this will be the cryptocurrency that we stick on for this speech. Now, cryptocurrency is made so popular by the way it all works. According to Bitcoin.org, the way you get Bitcoins is by downloading their software, running the software on your computer, and just letting the software do its thing. This is called Bitcoin mining. What the software is doing in the background is going through Bitcoin's network and searching for Bitcoins that have not yet been put into circulation. Once you find these Bitcoins, it is your job to put them into circulation yourself. No authority required. Through this process, Bitcoin has gone from, according to BuyBitcoinWorldwide.com's chart on the price of Bitcoin since it started in 2009, from just less than a cent per Bitcoin to over $10,000 per Bitcoin. Now, what's the purpose of it? What do people use it for? Well, according to Coindesk.com, one main purpose for people using Bitcoin is that it is completely decentralized. No one group or person has any sort of control over Bitcoin. It's not run by a government or any other thing like that. It's all in the hands of the users. You put the coins into circulation yourself, you find the coins yourself. No more Bitcoins can be made. There is a limited number of 21 million Bitcoins that can ever be in circulation at one time. However, not all of them are in circulation yet because they still need to be mined. Now, because of this limited number of 21 million Bitcoins, this also brings us to another reason people like to use Bitcoin so much. There cannot be inflation with Bitcoin because there cannot be any more Bitcoins made than what there already are out there. Now, Bitcoin gets its value from the popularity of Bitcoin. If there are few people using Bitcoin, Bitcoin doesn't have that much value. If there's a lot of people using Bitcoin, it has a lot of value. As we saw back in December, at the spike of its popularity, it was worth over $17,500 per Bitcoin. In fact, the phenomena that's more likely to happen with Bitcoin is called deflation, the opposite of inflation, wherein, since the value of the currency keeps rising up and up, the value of goods and services purchased with the currency actually falls. One last reason that people like to use Bitcoin so much is, again, because it is all in the hands of the users. Nobody can tell them what they're supposed to do with the Bitcoins. Nobody can suddenly change the Bitcoins. Nobody can tell you that you have to give them any Bitcoins. It's all up to you. Now, let's talk, being such a widely used and versatile currency, it will obviously affect outside the bubble of its own economy and begin to affect the real world economies all around the world. One such story coming from CNBC is of Eric Finman, who early on in Bitcoin's lifespan became very interested in it with his older brother, and so they both decided to start bit mining. This was back when Bitcoin was worth just a few cents or dollars per Bitcoin. Now, they didn't really think all that much about Bitcoin, that is, until 2017, when the popularity of Bitcoin hit its spike, meaning its value hit its spike. Suddenly, their few dollars in Bitcoin from 8 years earlier was now worth millions of dollars. At just 18 years old, Eric Finman became a millionaire. He now owns his own mansion in California, has founded several companies, and says that he plans on funding many projects and research teams in the future. Now, while that is one positive story of how Bitcoin has influenced the real-world economy, it also has influenced some negative impacts of the real-world economy. While it's not on the economy itself, it does have to do with the purchase of negative things, such as on the deep web, which, for those of you that don't know, is a site of the web that is so large and discrete that it can't really be monitored. Since it can't be monitored, a lot of illegal things go on there, like meetings of terrorists, purchase of highly dangerous and highly illegal drugs, and even if you're good enough, hiring a hitman. Now, obviously you can't purchase these things with just a normal credit card or debit card because those can easily be tracked as to where that money's going to. Bitcoin is used because Bitcoin cannot be tracked. Therefore, Bitcoin unintentionally became the universal currency of the deep web. This means that Bitcoin was used to further the drug industry, the legal purchase of weapons, and even hiring hitmen. However, the government has recently begun to crack down on the most popular of these websites. For example, the silkroad.com, a very popular website on the deep web for purchasing illegal drugs, and shutting them down. Therefore, Bitcoins weren't being used so much on the deep web. However, instead of actually negatively impacting the currency and making it lose its value, Bitcoin actually gained value after all these websites shut down. Now, one last future impact that Bitcoin might have on our economy is that most people speculate that, not immediately, further on in the future, Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrency may replace all currency altogether, or at least become the main form of currency. This will be brought about because cryptocurrency has a universal value. No matter where you are in the world, that cryptocurrency you're using has the same value it would anywhere else. It also would be brought about because of the decentralization of the currency. Because no one person controls cryptocurrencies, there would be no arguments over who gets to control the worldwide currency. It's all self-contained. It all does it on its own. It would also be brought about simply because of the easiness to get the Bitcoins, to get the cryptocurrencies. You either get them through transaction or mine them, in the case of Bitcoin, and put them into circulation on your own. So, altogether, we've discussed the history and mechanics of Bitcoin, the purposes and uses for Bitcoin, and last, we discussed the real-world impacts of Bitcoin. And we have altogether discussed how cryptocurrency can truly democratize the economic system. To quote Eric Schmidt, the current executive chairman of Google, Bitcoin is truly an amazing cryptographic achievement.